Hi Blazers, welcome to the new Ample Blaze podcast. Today we're going to talk about what happened with us. We actually had our Plex server go down for some quick maintenance. We didn't explain to people why it went down, but yeah, we were just maintaining our Plex server and I was just updating my computer technically. So I have a HP Omen computer laptop, and originally it came with 16 gigs of RAM and 128 gig SSD drive with a secondary drive of a 1 terabyte normal hard drive, a SATA drive. And as you can tell, 128 for your boot SSD is not a lot. It's smaller than my phone. It's just amazing how I lasted this long. So got together with a partner in crime. I will put their details up. They're called MardIT, and got them to come and help me. They actually installed the hardware stuff. So I updated my RAM. So I went from 16 GB to 32 GB. And then I went from my 128 SSD to a 1 terabyte SSD. And it was a crucial hard drive. I will display the details. And yeah, so basically we went from 128 to 1 terabyte, and it was just amazing. Now, on top of that, to make things go smoother, I got my hands on a piece of software called Partition Wizard. This software basically, or Partition Master Wizard, something like that. The software came from EaseUS. Now, it's legitimate software. It helps you do a lot of things, make bootable media, clone your operating system, clone your data drives, does everything. Now, I highly recommend using this piece of software. It's great for what I needed to do. I basically wanted to just hot swap my hard drive and RAM quickly without losing data and without having to go through the whole let's reinstall the operating system. And I also, as a backup, just in case the software didn't work, I made a bootable piece of software, bootable USB disk, and had that as a backup just in case that the software on an external hard drive didn't work. Now, I will show all that stuff in this video. So what occurred, okay, was the fact that we went and we firstly got this. There we go. I got this hard drive, so the Crucial P3 1 terabyte PCIe NVMe M.2 SSD. It's gone down. Actually, I spent $100 on that, so it's actually gone down since I purchased it. So you got 29% off. Now, I'm based in Australia, so I used the UMART website. I will put the link to that. Now, I'm not making any money off this video, so it's just purely my suggestion. So we got this NVMe 1 terabyte. Now you can get it for $70. So that's the 1 terabyte. Now, it tells you that gives you a 5-year manufacturer's warranty, and this is affordable for performance, generous storage, high quality innovation, optimize security, and these are the other details of how quickly it can read and write and all that kind of stuff. I will put a link to the site, and you can have a look at this, the cells, but it is amazing. It does everything. So yeah, I had no dramas in regards to that stuff. Now beyond that, I also updated the RAM, and this is what we got: a silicon power 32GB. So it is two 16GB sticks, and the thing is with this is you've got to find the right RAM that is compatible with your computer. So there is a website that I found, and I will put this up here at some point, and it basically explains to you what your current laptop is compatible with and how high you can get in regards to RAM storage. So this is the maximum RAM storage my computer allows me to have. So I went from 16 to 32, and I spent $93 on it. No, I actually spent $109 on it. So yeah, it cost me about $200. It'll cost you cheaper. They brought it down since I bought it. Maybe that was the trigger. I buy it, then it becomes cheaper for everyone else. So yeah, so this is the RAM software the RAM hardware that I've installed. Now if we look at the details of this is what it is. It's got a limited lifetime warranty. Whatever limited lifetime warranty means to you, not exactly sure. But it is DDR4 RAM. That's the other thing. You've got to make sure that the RAM that you get, you've got to make sure that it is a DDR4, DDR3, DDR5. What is it? So you've got to make sure that it's compatible in regards to that. These are the other information for it. Now, yeah, these are all the specs and the features. So that's great. So that's all that for you guys. I'll put a link to the page on the site. Go check it out. Basically, this was my hard drive. The other thing I wanted to let you guys know about is the software that I used to get this sorted. Quick Smart. So let's just bring it up. Yep, EaseUS Partition Magic. Should have loaded this prior to recording the video, but hey, that's how it works sometimes. So this was actually cheap. I'll put a link to the site as well. It cost me about $39 Australian, and you get the whole thing with the piece of software. Putting the serial key and all that. There's a bit of funny stuff in regards to that, but the website, their official website, tells you how everything works. Yeah, so I'll put the link in the video description of the video down below. Yeah, so this is basically how things are, and I basically cloned it. So I used the disk clone software, and this is what you can do. You can migrate your OS completely, or you can clone your OS. So that's what I used. I cloned my OS and I hit next. I'm not going to really do it, but I'm going to show you what happens. So that's your source, and that's the D drive. Let's do that for now, and then I'll show you. I'll go one more step. So let's not do that. So the next step, it actually tells you if you want to clone it exactly the same way as what it is on the source, or do you want to just put the data there and leave the unused data as unused. So I originally, when I did the backup, I cloned it exactly like this one. So it actually went from the 2 terabyte hard drive to the 128. And look, I have to format it at some point, the external hard drive that I used for the backup, and get my 2 terabyte back. But yeah, I would suggest don't clone it exactly to the same size. Just have the unused space there. Now you've got that, so that's how you do the clone thing. Now when you're cloning from SSD to an external drive, if your external drive is an SSD, it's a lot quicker, and even if you're cloning to a USB external hard drive, it's quicker from an SSD. But when you're going from USB plugged in, whether it's, I think I was using USB 2.0, it took a bit of time, so it at least took about an hour or so, or a little bit longer, to get the restoration and everything back onto this drive from the external. Now beyond that, once that was done, it took a while, came back, had no real issues booting back. I basically, the rule of thumb is once that's done, it'll tell you to complete, it's complete. Now if you don't know how to boot back after this is complete, it does give you a end screen to say that click here and we'll give you the instructions on how to do that. I will put those instructions in the description of this video as well. Basically, in a nutshell, it was really simple. Once it was done, I closed the program, completed it, and then shut down the computer, unplugged my external hard drive, and then turned my computer back on to see if it automatically will boot into the new C drive. Now the other key point is that when I booted back, when I created the media and this drive, because my external hard drive was allocated to the new C, I had to choose a different letter. So this was actually B drive, and I was concerned when I moved everything back to this drive, I had to go and change the letter of the drive and things like that. But it was amazing that I didn't even have to worry about that. Now I was losing sleep over that part of the whole process, because I was like, okay, now I've got to go do that, and it's going to be a nightmare and all that kind of stuff. No, what actually happened was I turned it off, as I said. I turned off the computer and unplugged the external hard drive, turned the computer back on. It did its BIOS checks, didn't get any BIOS warnings or anything like that, so I didn't have any RAM beeps or any hard drive failures or anything like that. It detected everything, and then came back into Windows, booted up off the SSD, which was instant, because when we booted off the external hard drive, it was like I had a 286 Intel computer. It was hilarious. Now if you're old enough to understand what a 286 is, go and look at those 286 machines. They're hilarious. Yeah, they were really, really slow. You had the 286, the 386, the 486, and then after the 486, the Pentium line started. That's a little bit of a history lesson for you guys. If you want to know how computers started kind of thing, well, you know, you've got the big calculators back in the day, but back when I started, you had the 286s, and you went from there. So go check them out. Now, yeah, so I booted back in. Everything was cool. It had some driver issues, which I basically just did Windows updates to get sorted. The other things that was happening, because it was a clone of a disk, you know, from 2 weeks ago. There was certain software that I had updated, you know, after the clone. So, you know, I had to come back and update that piece of software. Like, I have a Plex media server, as I mentioned. The Plex media server came back in, updated the Plex media server to the latest version, and the beautiful thing part of that was, once this clone happened, I didn't have to, you know, reconfigure my Plex server. It was already there, everything was done. The other beautiful thing about you know, Windows being imaged with this piece of software is the fact that I didn't have to register Windows again. It copied everything across. You know, it was just exactly what you want in a piece of software. So 100% recommend this piece of software. It is worth the money, and it is a great tool for any IT help desk person, any IT person out there. So yeah, I give it my recommendation. Again, not getting any money for it. I actually paid for my own copy, and totally worth paying for it. Yeah, so I'll close that off. We'll go back here now, guys. Yeah, yet again, yeah, so I would say please go ahead and if you're not sure how to do this, look at tutorials. Look at, firstly, what is recommended, and what is the maximum your computer can go. So don't just go and buy memory and hard drives that you're not sure if your computer is compatible with. It's very important, very key to double check all that. Now, the other little piece of tips and tricks I could tell you is that when MardIT came out and did the update for me, you got to make sure that you've got the basics, the screwdrivers. You got to make sure that it's non-static, so you don't transfer and lose power and all that kind of stuff. Now, getting through each computer, each laptop is a bit different, so you've got to deal with all the different screws, and mine had screws and clips, and you had to make sure that you gently, you know, open the screws and the clips. And once you open there, you can see your fans, and you might notice that your fans are dusty, so give it a clean. That's important, key. The other important thing is to check and take, before you actually remove your hard drive and your RAM, make sure that you remove your laptop battery, so there's no charge running to the computer. Then you know, softly and gently replace both. And again, when you do that, there, depending on your laptop, there'll be clicks, and you'll notice that it'll firmly go in. Yeah, so just make sure that you do that. Once we did that, we then went through the fun process, and this was the longest part of the process, because backing it up was really quick. It was within like 20 minutes, 18 minutes, I backed up to the external hard drive. But going from the external hard drive from the external hard drive to the new SSD took a while. So I was up after midnight making sure everything was hunky-dory, and which it was. And yeah, just 100% recommend this whole process. I will put links into this video. Have a look, guys. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you'd recommend either as well, in regards to how you do the backup and restore of when you update your laptop or computers, desktop computers, information, all that kind of jazz. So let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos. We will be going to our video tutorial soon. I've I've got a few ideas up my sleeve in regards to new video tutorials, and yeah, we'll give you a Ample Blaze update very soon. We are working on certain things to make our YouTube experience a little bit better. What else? That's pretty much it, guys, for now. Again, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.